Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Shadowed City Podcast, and this is The Shadows Within. I am your host, Larry. Whew! And we are going to go over a few shows before the night is out. SPW Merry Effing Christmas 2 took place. If y'all missed that, please go check it out. It was a fantastic show from start to finish. I was very excited for it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well if you go back and rewatch it. IWA The Last Dance House Show will be next Saturday. Stay tuned for that. Today was IZW Black Xmas. Stay tuned for that. If you missed it, go check it out. And I got a few shows to go over. We're going to go over IZW Black Xmas, RCW Massacre at Midnight, some GPW shows, and TKO Trials of Karma and Order, Guilty as Charged. Oh. And I feel we should start with GPW. And we are going to start with Ladies' Night that passed. There was a 5-way tables to kick off the show. Banshee versus Ty Dabaz. If I ever say that wrong, please let me know. Ty Days. That's her name. Bailey Nelson. Bailey Cruz. And Miss Dabness, with the Banshee walking out victorious. A 20-second count between Jeannie Jaw and Haley Ramon, with Haley Ramon walking out victorious. Underground, Amaya Allen versus Rose Wilson, with Rose Wilson walking out victorious. 20-second count, Sweet Death versus LaShawn S., with Sweet Death walking out victorious. 20-second count, Whitney Winters versus Alexis Lynch, with Alexis Lynch walking out victorious. And continuing on with Ladies' Night, well, yes, it is Larry. Hello. Welcome, Miss Alexa. Whew. Madison Death versus Sylvia Knight, with Sylvia Knight walking out victorious. GPW Diamond Champion War Maiden versus La Congresita Loca. If I pronounce that name wrong, please let me know. With War Maiden winning, but after the matchup, her rival, her longtime rival, Callie Bass, came in and attacked her. The rivalry between them has spread so long in GPW, and I think it's going to spread into next year. There was a promo between Reagan Anderson and the Yellow Ranger. Submissions matchup for this was still GPW Ladies' Night, but it switched to the men after. And it was a submission between Big T and Ranger Rogue, with Big T walking out victorious. Falls count anywhere, Mr. Patterson versus Outlaw, with Outlaw walking out victorious. 20-second count, Data Boy versus Aku, with Aku walking out victorious. Showtime versus Buster Anderson, with Showtime walking out victorious. GPW NXT Unleashed, Outlaw versus Carnage, with Outlaw winning, but after Outlaw won, Undertaker came out and chokeslammed Outlaw. Triple threat between Bobo the Clown, the Southern Psycho, and Adrian Danger. Well, you know I would win that one. Pepsi rules are my thing. Pepsi all day, every day, unless when I'm drinking. Sometimes I barely drink water throughout the day. I mainly just drink Pepsi. But I do try to get some water in me, but, you know, Pepsi's my thing. GPW Intercontinental Championship, Isaac Frost versus the champion DMP, with Isaac Frost becoming the new champion. Scorpio versus Ace Thompson, with Scorpio walking out victorious. GNPWA Universal Championship, AJ Woods versus Buster Anderson, the champion, with AJ Woods becoming the new GNPWA Universal Champion. GPW Global Heritage Championship. Big T, the GPW Undisputed Tag Team Champion, and GPW Gulf Coast Heavyweight Champion versus the champion, the Global Heritage Champion, Cade Cole Crossbones, with Cade Cole Crossbones walking out victorious, retaining the gold. The Demon versus Hacksaw Morris, with Hacksaw Morris walking out victorious. 2-on-1, Unrivaled Blade versus Aleister Black and New Jack, with Unrivaled Blade walking out victorious. John Robb versus Khan, with Khan walking out victorious. GPW Television Championship, Wade Jones versus the champion Ranger X, with Ranger X retaining the gold. King of the Mountain Championship on the line in the main event. Travell Daniel versus the champion Big Lou, with Big Lou retaining the gold. GPW WWM now. Yes, Merry Christmas to you too. GPW Hardcore Championship, Outlaw versus the champion Eddie Walker, with Eddie Walker retaining the gold. WWM European Championship, as Little Devil took on the champion Ranger Zero. With Ranger Zero retaining the gold. Jake King versus Hacksaw Morris, with Hacksaw Morris walking out victorious. GPW Gulf Coast Heavyweight Championship, Drago versus the champion Big T, with Drago becoming the new champion. WWM X Division Championship, El McLovin versus the champion Jerome GM, with El McLovin becoming the new champion. Ryan GM versus Michael Link McIntyre, with Ryan GM walking out victorious. Carnage versus Ranger Rogue, with Ranger Rogue walking out victorious. No Holds Barred, Gang Mac versus Danny Bishop, with Danny Bishop walking out victorious. WWM Canadian Heritage Championship, Jack Graves versus the champion Aku, with Jack Graves walking out the new champion. King of the Mountain Championship, Isaac Frost versus the champion Big Lou, with Isaac Frost becoming the new champion. GPW callouts. 20-second count Outlaw versus Isaac Frost, with Isaac Frost walking out victorious. 20-second count Big Lou versus Ranger Rogue for the ECW WWE World Heavyweight Championship, with Ranger Rogue becoming the champion. 20-second count Ghost Edwards versus Insidious, with Ghost Edwards walking out victorious. Triple threat three-way elimination, Big T versus Jack Graves versus DMP for the Fiend Championship, with Jack Graves winning the belt. Extreme Rules, the Monster versus Ember Kine, with the Monster walking out victorious. Steel Cage Showtime versus Buster Anderson, with Buster Anderson walking out victorious. Fatal 4-Way Carnage versus Roman Reigns versus Unrivaled Blade versus the WWE Undisputed Champion Cody Rhodes, with the belt on the line, with Roman Reigns becoming the new champion. Ooh. That's just nice. Next up, TKO, Trials of Karma and Order, guilty as charged. Zodiac Intercontinental Championship between Lilith Callahan and Kyra Hex, with Kyra Hex walking out the champion. 6-man tornado tag 2 out of 3. Leighton Little, Laura Little, and London Little. I should call it 6-person tornado tag. Darla Hilton, Corey DeMoise, and Daniel DeMoise, with Corey DeMoise, Daniel DeMoise, and Darla Hilton walking out victorious. Tornado Tag Falls Count Anywhere Chromatic Balance Tag Team Championships. The GOAT KC and Jackson Silver versus Pharaoh and Savage, with Pharaoh and Savage walking out the champions. Hold on. Tornado Tag Falls Count Anywhere Elysian Guardians Tag Team Championships. Betty Collins and Victoria Williams versus the champions Kaiva Chaos and Blackfire, with Kaiva Chaos and Blackfire retaining the gold. TKO Ultimate Intercontinental Championship TLC. Eric Mercer versus Tony Tornado, with Tony Tornado walking out victorious. 8-way elimination, Aaron James, Jordan Steele, J Max, Carter Justice, Big Rig, Rob Z, Lock J, and Prince Wade. With Prince Wade walking out victorious. Nexus of Balance Championship. Suex Z versus the champion JJ Wolf, with Suex Z walking out the champion. No Holds Barred Iron Man. Chin Pao versus the champion Berserko, with Chin Pao walking out the champion. Scarlet Trials Championship 2 out of 3, no holds barred. Vextra versus Wolfie, with Wolfie walking out the champion. Extreme Rules Triple Threat, Damian Grades versus Rob Plays versus Razor. 2 out of 3 falls, with Razor walking out victorious. Now, we are going to go over IZW Black Xmas. IZW Women's Crossfire Tag Team Championships as the Daughters of Decay, Kendra Grimm and Violet Grimm, took on the champions Violent Incarnate, Jessica Troy, and Riley. Hold on. With Jessica Troy and Riley, Violence Incarnate, retaining the gold. Isabella Graves versus The Dream, with Isabella Graves walking out victorious. IZW Death Pit Championship Falls Count Anywhere Triple Threat. Aaron James versus Johnny Superkicks the champion versus the Phantom Eddie Walker, with Eddie Walker becoming the new Death Pit champion. Craig Mack versus Kabuki Dragon, with Craig Mack winning by submission. Five Tables of Death IZW Women's Bloodlust Championship. Tiffany Colt, Sylvia Knight, Angel Bryant, LaShawn S. the champion versus Artemis, with Sylvia Knight becoming the new Bloodlust champion of IZW. Crossfire Tag Team Championships Tornado Tag, Iron Countrymen versus Red Wolves, John Robb and AJ Woods, with Red Wolves retaining the gold. Extreme Rules Bailey Cruz versus Angelina West, with Bailey Cruz walking out victorious. IZW Crossfire International Championship. Lewis West versus the champion Jack Graves, with Lewis West becoming the new champion. Tornado Tag Tables match. Katie and Combat Genius versus Todd and Travell Daniel, with Combat Genius and KD walking out victorious. Crossfire Women's Championship Falls Count Anywhere. Cassie DeMoyes versus Britt Graves versus the champion Nikita Sakamoto, with Nikita Sakamoto retaining the gold. Tables match between Big Lou and Andre Robinson, with Big Lou walking out victorious. Extreme Rules Wes Grimm versus Big T, with Wes Grimm walking out victorious. The Amazon versus Kyva Frost, with CJ Frost at her side, with Kyva Frost walking out victorious. Crossfire Universal Championship Elimination Chamber. CJ Frost versus Buster Anderson, the champion, versus Rob Anderson, the Intercontinental Champion. JoJo, J-Jin, and Red Mane, with Buster Anderson retaining the gold. Now we are going to go on to RCW Massacre at Midnight, as it was the pre-show that kicked us off. No holds barred, Falls Count Anywhere. Kachina versus Lucy Carter, with Kachina walking out victorious. Extreme Rules Tornado Tag Panty Droppers, Adrian Dalton and Cesar Sexton versus the Nasty Boys Linda Black and Bob Dole for the Uprising Tag Team Championships, with the Panty Droppers becoming the champions. TLC Tornado Tag RCW Women's Uprising Tag Team Championships. Berlin Walls, Emmy Hayabusa and Evelyn Hayabusa, the champions, versus Pride and Powerful, Selena Santos and Victoria, with Pride and Powerful becoming the new champions. Ambulance match for the Women's Undisputed Championship. Barbara Santos versus Angelina West, with Angelina West walking out victorious. Casket match, Lewis West versus Sam Bagman for the Uprising Championship, with Lewis West walking out victorious. Now the main card for Massacre at Midnight. First Blood, John Robb versus the Phantom Eddie Walker, with John Robb walking out victorious. Light Tubes Only Tornado Tag, Berlin Walls, Emmy Hayabusa and Evelyn Hayabusa versus Pride and Powerful, with Pride and Powerful walking out victorious. Steel Cage Pins Only, Britt Graves versus Sylvia Knight, with Sylvia Knight walking out victorious. 5-way KO elimination, Plum, J-Max, KD, King Dominator, Dame and Bishop, with Dame walking out victorious. TLC Pins Only, Donna B versus Jen versus Riley, with Jen walking out victorious. Underground, Jack Raids versus Lucius West, with Lucius West walking out victorious. Elimination Chamber, Rob Van Dam, Sandman, Abyss, Tommy Dreamer, Terry Funk, and New Jack, with Tommy Dreamer walking out victorious. Blackout Tag Team Championships, Extreme Rules, Blackheart Collective versus the champions, the Faces of Fear, with the Faces of Fear retaining the gold. Fiend Championship Casket match, Frankenstein versus the champion BPW, with Frankenstein becoming the new champion. Brutality Tag Team Championships, ICP versus Merkel versus Wolfpack, the champions, in a triple threat falls count anywhere, with the Wolfpack retaining the gold. Death Championship, 2 out of 3 falls death match. Rob Anderson, Paul Carter, Michael Myers, the champion Big T, with Big T retaining the gold. Bloodlust Championship Ambulance match, Reagan Anderson versus the champion Angelina West, with Reagan Anderson walking out victorious. And to cap off the night, 2 out of 3 falls Hell in a Cell for the Hellfire Championship. Gage Payton versus the champion Nightmare Briggs, with Nightmare Briggs retaining the gold. And ladies and gentlemen, that is what I had to go over. Now, we were supposed to do a Dark City Cinema today. We're going to have to reschedule that, but there will be one coming soon. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, SPW was today. Go check it out. Merry effing Christmas 2. Please go check that out if you missed it. Go check out TKO, IZW, GPW, and RCW. You can find them on Twitch. You can find RCW and GPW on YouTube. But all 4 of them are also on Twitch. But I hope everybody has a great day, good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever y'all may be. Peace out.